In this video, we're going to learn about typography and text styles in Framer. So let's get started with the basics. I have a default website here, and if I click on any text layer, which by the way I can also add by simply selecting the text tool and typing in, I can easily see that on the right panel we have this text section, and essentially we're going to have a few different items. The first one is going to be the content, which the content I can actually change by double clicking over the text, and I can write whatever I want, or I can change it from this content section, which is going to be useful in certain occasions, which you're going to learn about along the way. And essentially I can simply rewrite and press enter, and as you can see the content is now updated. Now we're going to discuss the text styles in just a moment. I just want to briefly go over the basic options, such as the font, which allows you, as you can imagine, to change the font. You can also add custom fonts. So basically you can, as you can see here, upload fonts from your computer to add them to your project. You can also upload it to use on workspace projects in workspace settings. So there's this option as well. You can search for fonts directly from here. So if I want Inter, I'm going to basically type in Inter, and here I have the font. Perfect. Now the other option is going to be the weight. So very similarly to most other softwares out there, you can change the weight depending on also of course on the font that you're using. You can change the color, and the color is going to be an option which is common in pretty much all of the other areas, such as elements. So we're already going through the color section in depth, as well as gradients in another video. You can change the size, and over here one thing to notice is that you can both select a pixel value or also the fit option, which essentially is going to make the text fit according to the length or width of the parent container. So as you can see, it's going to fit accordingly in all of the responsive sizes, and this is an option which you don't have in Figma for obvious reasons, because it's going to be much more convenient to keep these options in site builder such as Framer, but definitely something that you want to consider. And you can also set it to a specific percentage size. So for example, I can set it to 50%, and now this text is spanning 50% of the width of the container. So this is something that you also want to keep in mind. You can change the letter spacing. So as you can see, I can make it quite wider, and you can also set it in EMS, which is a unit which is often used in web design. And as you can see, by default also the line is set in M, and you can also change it to pixels or percentages. So these options are really going to depend based on the project that you're working on. There isn't like a best practice when it comes to fit or pixels. Just be mindful, of course, of creating a solution which is going to work in a responsive and ideally fluid way between the different sizes, and you should be good to go. Then we have the alignment, which allows you to set the alignment to one of these values. I'm going to simply revert back to pixels, and so we can actually see these options at play. So I'm going to change the alignment, and this is going to essentially work in that sense. So the paragraph is going to be an option which you're going to notice if you have 2 or more paragraphs. So for example, over here, for some reason it's not catching the paragraph, even though it feels like I definitely created one. So I'm going to use a line break, and yeah, that's exactly what is going to trigger it. So as you can see, I can adjust the size of um, the basically the distance between one paragraph and the other. So very easy, very simple to adjust all these settings. Now let's go back to the styles panel, which I mentioned not too long ago. And essentially the styles panel is going to give you a option which very closely resembles design systems principles in Figma. So the text layers which are most commonly used throughout a website, such as the heading. Think about heading 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the way to 6, or the body text. Those are going to be common text styles which you're going to utilize more and more often, and you wanted them to be consistent between one page and the other, and hence why we are almost creating components out of the text, but they're not components because obviously it wouldn't work. So we have textiles instead. So we're going to basically set, and as you can see, we already have presets of exactly what I mentioned, the different heading sizes and also the paragraph. So this one is definitely going to be a heading 1. So we're going to set it as heading 1. And you can edit all of these options which I just mentioned plus more in this dialog box. So very briefly, we have the font, we have the weight, the styles, color, transform, which essentially tells you if you want to, capitalize, make it uppercase, make it always lowercase, and you can also choose text decorations, such as the line through or the underline. You can choose the alignment, as well as some more, minute options over here. You could even add a breakpoint, so if you want these to happen in a certain way at certain breakpoint, you can easily change this. So in large, medium, and small, these settings are going to be different, and essentially, you can change it in a way which, this is the medium since it's the tablet, and in the small version, it's going to be like this. So you can also do that if you want, and yeah, this is going to give you minute granular options over all of the different styles. So I could even add this as a paragraph, and over here I'm going to have all of the same options, and I can easily adjust it throughout the project. So very easy to use overall, very intuitive. You can always adjust these options on the go. So very simple, and this is pretty much it when it comes to the typography and the text styles in Framer.